Hello folks, how are you doing? And welcome to our channel. So the final video in the 6 Tudor Queen series. And obviously it's going to finish with Katherine Parr. Before we get to the cards, just some little insights. I did share some of these insights in a few videos back where I've said in the past that Katherine Parr has come back as Queen Camilla Parker Bowles, who was Camilla Parker Bowles. When I was reading, why not pointing up at the camera? When I was reading the Katherine Parr book in the Alice and Weir collection, one of the things, there was a few things that blew my mind. One of which was she lived at somewhere called Rye House, Katherine Parr, and it was a house that she absolutely loved. It was a childhood home. Camilla lives at Mill House, and I don't know if it is her childhood home or not. I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments if it is a childhood home, but it's a home that means it's a bolt hole for her. Also, as well, the love of books. Both women were voracious readers. Um, there's so much. When I was reading, there was so much, so much. The fact that we've got her last husband was Thomas Seymour, and her son in her current life is called Thomas Parker Bowles. Um, I think as well that her first husband, Camilla's first husband, is the reincarnation of Thomas Seymour. So we've got a lot going on here. Very interesting. So let's get into it. Katherine Parr. Oh, God. This deck going. How are you all doing? Let me know in the comments. First of all, God, can't shuffle a deck today. Is Queen Camilla Parker Bowles, Camilla Shand, is she the reincarnation of Queen Katherine Parr, Lady Latimer, as well? Ooh, okay. That's the Knight of Pentacles. Wheel of Fortune, interesting. We've got the bottom. Releasing battles, releasing obstacles, releasing anxiety. Ace of Wands in reverse. Letting go. Defense. Three of Cups in reverse. I can smell something very flowery. Sorry. I know I've got an incense candle burning over there, but it's not that I can smell. It's like, you know, when somebody stands over your shoulder and you can smell the perfume. My perfume that I've gotten today is not flowery. It's interesting. It just keeps like wafting around me, this smell of perfume. Ace of Cups upright. Justice and the Magician. So, Camilla and Katherine Parr. Doing what we're all doing, really. Coming back to bring balance back into our evolution. And that looks different for everyone. There's something here as well. Three of Cups in reverse. Three of us in the marriage. Just a minute. Just let me think this. Let me just think this through. There's something within grasp here. Ace of Wands, there's something within grasp. We can see the Ace of Wands is in reverse. But there's something she's not grasping. That she's refusing to let go of as a soul. Now, could it? that the current women that are still in the royal circles, this, I mean, let's not bring in the current women in the royal circles, but let's just focus on this incarnation for this human being. Um, yeah. Go back in time to Catherine Parr. You know, you that she had to marry Henry VIII. There was no choice. She had to do as she was told. I think it was brother and uncle in that scenario. She had to please the higher ups. She had no voice. And I kind of feel, trigger or not, but I kind of feel it was similar to Charles. I think she loved Andrew Parker, but God, when there's so many names over so many timelines. I think she loved Andrew Parker Bowles, and I genuinely think, I know he was a cad, but I think she would have stayed there until she died. Um, but somehow, well, we know how things happened, and it put her in a position again where she kind of has no choice. But she does, but she doesn't. But to marry into the royal circles again. But I also feel as well, one of the things, this is about Camilla Parker Bowles, this is Camilla reading, but I'm doing both timelines here. But one of the things with Camilla as well, having to come back in, is to really find her place and put her stamp on things in the current queendom era. Yes, you know, the magician, the manifester. Because obviously, if you go back in time to Catherine Parr and all the religion stuff, which can I just say goes straight over my head, I'm not going to be going into trying and making sense of that. I cannot, I just doesn't, I can't do that kind of stuff. I can't deal with politics and religion. I do energy, okay? So as a queen in that incarnation as Catherine Parr, she had very little power. She had to hide who she really was. So there's a lot going on here. But also as well, so she leaves, well, Henry VIII dies. She goes to Thomas. Yes, it was Thomas, yes. Marries him. He's now Andrew Parker Bowles. In this current incarnation as Camilla, it's opposites. It's circle of life. Circle of life, isn't it? It's living under the shadow of Diana, living under the shadow of Catherine of Aragon, Anne Boleyn, Jane Seymour, Anne of Cleves, having to come into a court where there's so much other queen history. Um, Having to deny who she is. What comes after the magician here? Be interesting. Ooh, Queen of Cups in reverse. As her incarnation as Camilla, she has to be very careful though, that she doesn't go too wanting to be seen and heard and her own power in the court, because that can come up as cold and calculated. We can also be looking at these cards and thinking, to become a queen, do you have to let go of that part of you? Your emotions, your feelings, your hormones, the cycle of your life, your integrity in some cases. I'm talking all queens now, all queens that marry in, and born queens as well, to be quite honest, because it's a man's world. Well, what it is in that area. Um, yeah, interesting. There's this thing with her and Thomas Seymour and Andrew Parker Bowles, where they just, and I see we sometimes have this in client sessions where they come in and something takes them apart. They can never deal with it. They can never crack it. They can never have the happy ever after. There's always something that comes in that destroys them or separates them or pulls them apart. Interesting. Right, let's look at the life of Katherine Parr. Show me the life of Katherine Parr. Okay, so we've got anger, resentment. God, get the stones out again. The devil, four of wands at the bottom in reverse. The hermit, things we're not seeing, things we're not being told. The fool, got major arcana. Page of swords, holding on, structures, having to please the structures. The strength, self-confidence. The sun, the knight. The wheel of, the not wheel of fortune, apologies. The world in reverse. We're out of crystals here. So there is something here. I know when she died, how her body was treated was appalling. But there's something here about has struggled to complete a cycle. She's stuck in a repetitive pattern. It's almost like there's an aspect of her that's not woken up. We're going back to this current incarnation that's not woke up to the fact I don't need to be here. I don't need to tie myself to royalty. I can be a free woman stepping into my divine feminine. But the life of Katherine Parr, there was a lot of pain, a lot of inner turmoil that we've not been shown, possibly a lot of secrets. There was a lot of her that she kept really hidden that we will possibly never see. She had deep thoughts and feelings in relation to belief and religion. There was also a part of her that wanted to break free, to walk away from it all. Possibly like a real bohemian aspect to her as well. But she felt very strongly this pressure from the structures. She had concerns in relation to Henry VIII, deep concerns. Those deep concerns have been passed down to her now as Camilla Parker Bowles, then Queen Camilla. And the way we also know that Prince Harry was Henry VIII, so they come together now as stepmom and stepson. And a lot of her issues with Harry aren't just because she was Diana's son and there's stuff going on, isn't there? This goes deep down through many different timelines and many different lifetimes. Um, I'm also being shown another time they were together in a royal setting. They were in France, 1314. Who was in France in 1314? Let's get the old phone out. France, French monarchy. French monarchy. Because I don't know anything about it. I don't think. French monarchy. King Philip the King Philip the Fourth, I think that is, also known as Philip the Fair. Ooh, he was known for consolidating royal power and clashing with the papacy. Papacy, well, you know what to say. I don't know. It's a religious thing, isn't it? And engaging in wars with England and Flanders. Born into a turbulent royal lineage, he faced early personal losses, including the death, oh, including the death of his mother and an unwelcoming stepmother. Get out of it! Shut the bedroom door. Oh, for sake. What? Right, you see it? Might be reflecting back on the camera. Apologies if it is. I won't because he might be getting glared. Born, so when it's one and a V, so V is 5 and I think this is 4. If I've got it, it doesn't matter. So Philip 1V of France, often referred to as Philip the Fair, due to his reputedly attractive appearances. Henry VIII was attractive in his younger years. Harry was attractive in his younger years. Reigned from 1285 until his death at 1314. Born into a turbulent royal lineage, I swear to God, he faced early personal losses, including the death of his mother and an unwelcoming stepmother. Will somebody put kettle on? And in fact, no, go make me some cacao. I swear to God, I didn't even know this dude. Dude, he's a king guy at road. Now we're going to go in and have a look at him. The Iron King. His fierce opponent, Bernard Sassy said, oh God, Bishop of Permas, said to him, he's neither man nor beast, he is a statue. Ooh, what have we just gone on there? Ooh. So, coronation, 6th of January, born 5th of October, no, reign, sorry. Born 8th of April. Joan of Navarre. Ooh, oh, that's Megan now. Let's have a look. What's she like? She was a Queen of France by marriage to Philip. She founded the College of Navarre in Paris. Paris? But it's France, you dipstick. Queen Consort of France. House of Blois. So that's House of Blois. Blois or Blus. There was that Stephen of Blois, wasn't there, or something? Joan never ruled him, but she was overseen by French governors having. I don't want to look for Meghan, but I'm not saying just because he's married to her, she's Meghan. Do you know what I mean? Or Anne or whatever. Well, I don't know who Camilla was, but I'm feeling Harry was that possibly that king who had a turbulent youth, the mother dying, trouble with his stepmother. Gee, see what I mean about everything mirrors. Who was Stephen of? Because I've said Charlotte was Matilda, Empress Matilda, and Stephen of Blois. So I just want to know if I can. Stephen of. I wish they'd make it easy. We should all have picked sensible names. So he came before that. He came well before that. Right. Good enough. Yes, interesting. So needing to rise in her confidence and her skills. Having a lot to bring to the table, but possibly not being able to show it. The joy of wanting a child, the pursuit of the night, but still we struggle to release it. Well, let's have a look at her and our Henry. Blows my mind when you get stuff like that, where you say something and then you Google it and you start looking at facts and figures like that, and you're like, you of all the kings in all the world, it's in all the eras, to land on that one. So yeah, she's got a connection to that court with Henry. Wowzers. So show me the energy between what was the marriage of Henry VIII and Katherine Parr really like? What was it like? What was it really like? Okay, lacking of softness and of gentleness. Neither of them could release their past stuff, past loves, past relationships. The Sun in reverses. It wasn't a joyful marriage. The books may say it was, but the cards are saying it lacked something. Um, Still thinking about the knight in shining armor energy. Also, as well, her previous husband, Lord Latimer, needing to fulfill duty. It being rather duty than a love match. Again, she's still got her Three of Cups energy. She's in this cycle of other queens, other women of the past. We've got Ace of Cups upright here. So there is a kindness here. Hermit in reverse. Strength in reverse. Four of Wands. Three of Swords. Naivety. His past, Henry's past. Yeah, and the King in reverse. Now, somebody that's not trustworthy, she's very, very wary of his past. She's very wary that the king that she's married, she can't fully trust him with her heart. She knows his secrets, she knows his hidden depths. She feels weakened. She knows about the past heartbreak from past queens, the queens especially that have been beheaded, and like Catherine of Aragon that got neglected, and God knows what else could have been poisoned as well. So there's a lot here. So it's almost like they can't really have even a proper marriage by royal standards. Um, there's a lot of, I'm hearing the words wishful thinking here. There's wishful thinking that things can get better, that maybe I can save him, or I just hope and hope and hope I'm going to be okay. And I want to say in the long run she was, but was she really? Because life with Thomas was not as happy. Um, Life with Thomas. Oh, yes, because he was a bit of a ratbag as well. So what was him? I want to know. What I want to know is, and I'm going to pull it in this session about Thomas Seymour and Elizabeth I. Did anybody put that kettle on yet? Oh, I thought I'd not pressed record for our upper camera then. Well, my upper camera. Show me the energy between her. What am I doing here? What am I doing? What am I doing? Between her and Thomas Seymour when they're married. So they're married. Show me the energy of their marriage. Show me the energy of their marriage. Show me the energy of their marriage. Okay, fated destiny. I've told you this couple are two people that just keep coming back for more. Queen of Swords at the bottom. Ooh, now, I actually thought that was red hair, but it's not. It's a thingy. It's a veil. But this queen here has got reddish hair or brownish hair. Um, Now I know Elizabeth the First wasn't Elizabeth the First here, but she grew up to be Elizabeth the First. But also as well, she's got her sword. Cold. Let's keep pulling. Let's see what the story is. Yes, we've got a King of Cups in reverse, so somebody that can be. This can be lacking emotion, lacking heart-centered connection. Um, can be a cad going nowhere. Ace of Cups upright. Okay, a wish. Things we don't know. King of Wands. Henry's energy over it. Not being able to reach somebody. Dreams of him suddenly diminishing. Her past thoughts and memories of him. Hierophant in reverse. Wowzers. That was the final card at the bottom of the deck. So it wasn't what she thought she was going to get. There were hidden depths to him. Times possibly when he could go cold with her. She had this dream of this knight in shining armor that she used to know before Henry, but then it changed. Henry comes in, Henry dies. He's not what it thought. Life isn't getting better. In fact, life is possibly getting worse for her. I know from what I remember in the books about Edward dying and having like Lord Protector energy and all the trouble that came up with that. So it's difficult. It's difficult. There's no breathing room. There's no time for her to relax, to just enjoy being with someone that she really loves. Um, Now we're going to look at this between Elizabeth I, or should we say the Lady Elizabeth? Get it right, Lady. So she was the Lady Elizabeth, I think, or the Princess Elizabeth. Show me what really happened between Thomas Seymour and the Lady Elizabeth stroke Princess Elizabeth. I'm not sure what she was at this point because Henry changed it often. I think she was Princess Elizabeth at this point. We know it is. Show me show me what really happened. What really happened here? Ooh, now I'm being shown. I'm having to relive this in relation to step forward a few hundred years. Have you landed yet? 1970s London or 1960s London with Andrew Parker Bowles and I said Queen Anne then. I always call her a Queen. We had a Queen Anne once, didn't we? Okay. Princess Anne. So Camilla finds herself in another incarnation in another bodysuit. Oh, what's going on here? Oh my God, he's at it again. So back to Thomas Seymour and Elizabeth I. Back to Thomas Seymour and Elizabeth I, Lady Elizabeth, Princess Elizabeth. What really happened? In fact, we'll get the other deck out. I've got it here. Ooh, Sun in reverse. Three of Wands in reverse. Releasing heartbreak. Four of Wands in reverse. The Star. Ooh, the Devil. Ooh, don't give me too many rudy-doody cards. The King of Wands in reverse. The King has died. She's vulnerable. She's young. She's slim. She's attractive. She's fresh. Lost. Need for power. King's dead. The father's dead. Hermit. I can take advantage. I can be the card, the King of Cups. Can I just move that down there so I can pop the card in? So he goes in for it. That sounded awful, but you know what I mean. Show me Thomas's energy towards Elizabeth. Show me Thomas's energy towards Elizabeth. Judgment, exposure. Show me Elizabeth's energy towards Thomas at this point. Three of Cups in reverse. Interesting. Oh, she didn't trust him. She didn't trust him. She was aware. She wasn't as daft as people think. And again, I know, but she's like, they got the Iron. No, that's not the Iron Lady. The Iron Lady, Claire, is Maggie Thatcher, you utter dipstick. But I'm calling her the Iron Queen, okay? She was the Iron Lady. Unless that's one of her other incarnations. Anyway, interesting. She was aware of him. I'm going to take this out because it's got Rudy Doody pictures on. She doesn't trust him. She's aware of him. She may be flattered and doing all the courtly love type thing. But Elizabeth, Lady Elizabeth, Princess Elizabeth, is aware that he's a womanizer. She's very wise to men. She's very, very young. She's not wise in she's precocious and sexual. She's wise in she susses the court. Which is how she lasted as long as she did as queen and how she got to where she was. You couldn't she just knew things, I think. But anyway, yes, interesting. Let's look at this deck here because this is me. 'Cause it can show you other aspects of it as well. Show me the relationship between Lady Elizabeth, Princess Elizabeth, Queen Elizabeth I, and Thomas Seymour in that incarnation. So at the bottom of the deck, we've got endings, death and rebirth. There's a group involved here. So there's three of coins, a group involved. Valuable, she's valuable to him. Execute. Knight of Swords, wanting to make a pass at her. Fierce, wouldn't take no for an answer. Celebration. Three of Cups. Authority. Emperor. These are the same kind of cards that we had with the last spread. Authority, the Emperor. Wanting the crown. As a possible, I mean, back then they didn't know what was going to happen. Edward was on the throne, and if he was hopefully was going to live and have children, but it's Tudor times and people die. But there's authority. Also, as well, the emperor's gone. Her dad, womanizer. There's so much here. Leverage to give him leverage. Wheel of Fortune, edging his bets, dirty work. Oops. Socialite, and defensive. She had to defend herself against him. She had to defend herself against him. It's very much like what we've been saying. Wanting to improve his standing in the social circles. This group energy as well. The group dynamics, the players, the playing of chess, of measuring your next step up. Well, that's tacky as well, because I'm feeling as well when he married Katherine Parr, he didn't realise how much she'd got banished from court. He thought marrying Katherine Parr, and because I think, wasn't it the fact that she was meant to become the royal protector or something, Lord Protector or Lady Protector, and it changed and she wasn't able to get to Edward. So he's like, I'm going to marry her, and then like he realises he's married her, he's lost everything. And it's a battle. So he's edging his bets for something else. And he's just a dirty bastard. He's just enjoying himself, which he shouldn't be doing because he's a stepfather. Just a dirty bastard. I just don't care. Yes, anyway. I want to read on what's his name? Andrew Parker Bowles. Now, read an Andrew. Oh, God. Andrew Parker Bowles. Just Andrew Parker Bowles, not now, not past, present, or future. Just give me some cards on Andrew Parker Bowles, because yeah. Spiked, drugs involved. So there's been a time when he's had endings debt. Okay, so he could be also coming to the end of a cycle. He isn't, I think he's in his 80s, isn't he, or 70s? The past Six of Cups. We know he's been a womanizer in the past, and look at this. This is getting ridiculous. In too deep in something, in too deep with the whole Charles and Camilla and Diana thing. Implicated in something, dragged into it. Didn't like the exposure that gave him. Lifetime. He's took a lot of coming to term to. Back away. Do not get involved. Acquisition. Obtain or gain. Revealed. Mask comes off. I don't know if I want to say it because I shouldn't say it but it's just niggling me. Oh, I might have come a bit too far down with my cards here. Apologies. Camilla has a lot to say in relation to abuse. It could just be a passion. It could just be that she had a friend, but what was he like as a husband? Andrew Parker Bowles, the Camilla. This may be the wrong deck for it. We may have to go on to a different deck. What was he like as an abuser then as a husband? Okay, I don't know what these cards are. What was he like as a husband? Leverage, sacrifice energy, hanged man. I don't know. But actually, having affairs and stuff is a bit weird. Because there's something that Camilla has seen in her life that gives her such a passion for women of domestic violence. Now, it could be past life stuff that she's. Why is Camilla so in with the illusion in reverse? Ace of Pentacles. The moon in reverse. Defense, yes. I'm not going to say who it was because that actually is not fair. Because this person is still alive, and I don't think it's him, but who knows? I mean, Having affairs is abusive, to be quite honest, but it's not physical violence. It's interesting. Anyway, so like I said, this may not be the right deck for this, but acquisition and gain. There's a privilege in having your wife sleep with the Prince of Wales, but not wanting to tarnish his reputation. When it got revealed, there's something about that. Nick has learnt from it though. Ooh, has learnt from it a season of life. So older Andrew Parker Bowles, by going through it, has learnt something from it. I'm going to put my neck on the line. Ooh, pardon the pun. Possibly learnt something about this lustful energy and what can happen with that. Interesting with that card here. Balancing it. Who knows? Interesting. Final card for the 6 Tudor Queens, rounding all 6 videos up. Okay, 7 of Swords on the bottom will do 3 cards. Yay, yay. So right now, in the world, let's just change this. No, let's just leave it as they came out. We are going through a clearing. Women are going through a big clearing, a big wake-up call in relation to how they live their lives, what they're willing to sacrifice themselves for. The past, the present, the future, the past lives we've had where we've been pawns in the game of others, and it's brought us into a weakened state where we can carry on that cycle lifetime after lifetime. But we're working towards this, which is your happy ever after, because you've worked through all of your emotions, you've balanced your emotions, you've crossed over the river and the bridge and gotten over something. You've realized your self-worth. You've got your rainbow, your chakras are in alignment. You realize what really matters. And that is a heart-centered way of living. And if stuff comes from that, richness and power and elitism, fair enough, castles and palaces. But if it doesn't, if you have a nice little cottage or a home somewhere, a small, whatever home you have, and you're happy, then you, my dear, have everything. Thank you for watching this little soiree of 6 videos, a roller coaster, insights and all of that. And yes, you can catch up with the rest in CT's historical tarot playlist on here. There is CT's Royal Tarot. I think that's going to be getting a bit bouncy because things are starting to come out. We've got Andrew's book. We've got Diana Rama coming out in November, I think it is, which is a book about Diana. We've also got another Paul Burrell's book getting ready to come out in September. So there's a lot going to be happening. The astrology around the royal family is going to be out of whack in September. So there is going to be potentiality for big, big things in September with the UK royal family. So yeah, thanks for watching. Love to all.